Mississippian culture, players rolled a stone disc across the field, then threw spears to land as close as possible to where it stopped. It was intense, strategic, and even used for gambling. Entire fortunes were won or lost over a single throw. Did you know the U.S. has no official national language? English is common, but hundreds of native languages were spoken here first, and many still survive today. Subscribe the channel. Did you know the U.S. military used the Navajo language as a secret code in World War II? Navajo Marines sent messages Japan couldn't crack, helping win battles like Iwo Jima. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know the Cherokee invented their own writing system in 1821? A man named Sequoyah created a syllabary that turned Cherokee into a written language, making it the first for Native Americans. Subscribe the channel. Did you know Norse Vikings landed in North America around 1000 AD, 500 years before Columbus? They built settlements in Newfoundland, Canada. Subscribe the channel. Did you know 1,000 years ago, the city of Cahokia near St. Louis had more people than London? Native Mississippians built huge pyramids and earth mounds. It was America's first city. Subscribe the channel. Did you know the Transcontinental Railroad, finished in 1869, connected East and West for the first time? It slashed travel time from months to days and powered America's industrial growth. Subscribe the channel. Did you know Eli Whitney's cotton gin, invented in 1793, revolutionized U.S. farming? It made cotton king, boosting textile mills and fueling the American Industrial Revolution. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know skateboarding started in 1950s California? Surfers stuck wheels on boards to ride streets on flat days. From sidewalks to the X Games, skate culture grew into a global sport. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know basketball was invented in 1891 at a YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts? Dr. James Naismith used a soccer ball and peach baskets. It started as a winter workout and grew into a global phenomenon. Subscribe the channel. Did you know baseball became America's pastime back in the 1800s? The first pro game was in 1871, and teams like the Yankees made it a national obsession. From sandlots to stadiums, baseball still swings big today. Subscribe the channel.
Subscribe the channel. Native Americans tapped maple trees long before settlers arrived, boiling sap into sweet syrup. This ancient technique turned maple syrup into a U.S. classic, still loved on pancakes today. Subscribe the channel. At the first Thanksgiving in 1621, there was no pumpkin pie, but plenty of venison, wild turkey, corn, and shellfish. It was a feast of native New England foods shared between Pilgrims and Wampanoag people.
Subscribe the channel. Bison meat was the lifeblood of Plains tribes for thousands of years. Dried into pemmican, it lasted for months, perfect for survival. Today, bison is making a comeback as a healthy, ancient protein. Subscribe the channel. Long before modern bread, Native Americans made bannock, a simple cornbread cooked on hot stones. This ancient food fueled tribes and later became a pioneer favorite across early America.
Subscribe the channel. In 1775, American militia fired on British troops in Lexington, the first shot of the Revolutionary War. No one knows who shot first, but it sparked the war that birthed the United States. Subscribe the channel. Harvard University, founded in 1636, is America's oldest college. It started with just 9 students. Today, it's one of the world's top universities and a symbol of U.S. education history.
Subscribe the channel. Deep in California, there's a tree named Methuselah that's over 4,800 years old, older than the pyramids. This bristlecone pine has survived ice ages and empires, and it's still alive today. Subscribe the channel. St. Augustine, Florida, founded in 1565, is the oldest city in the U.S. Built by the Spanish, it's older than Jamestown and Plymouth, with 450-year-old forts and streets still standing today. Subscribe the channel. As American as apple pie? Actually, apple pie came from England, but during World War II, U.S. soldiers called it a symbol of home. That's how apple pie became a true American icon, even if the recipe came from overseas.
Subscribe the channel. Long before burgers, corn was king. Native Americans grew maize for thousands of years. Today, the U.S. is the top corn producer, and it's in everything: soda, snacks, even fuel. Corn powered ancient tribes and modern industries. Subscribe the channel. Buffalo wings actually are from Buffalo, New York. Invented in 1964 at the Anchor Bar. They took leftover chicken wings, deep-fried them, and tossed them in spicy sauce. Today, it's a game day favorite across the U.S. Subscribe the channel. The hot dog started as a German sausage but became all-American at baseball games in the early 1900s. New York vendors sold them from carts, and soon hot dogs were everywhere, from 4th of July cookouts to ballparks across the country.
By the 1920s, Detroit wasn't just building cars, it was building an empire. Henry Ford's assembly lines cut car prices in half, making the Model T affordable to millions of Americans. Detroit's factories pumped out 5 million cars a year, turning it into the Motor City. This boom put America on wheels and created a middle class powered by auto jobs and suburbs connected by new highways. By the 1920s, Detroit wasn't just building cars, it was building an empire. Henry Ford's assembly lines cut car prices in half, making the Model T affordable to millions of Americans. Detroit's factories pumped out 5 million cars a year, turning it into the Motor City. This boom put America on wheels and created a middle class powered by auto jobs and suburbs connected by new highways.
Hollywood's movie boom in the 1920s wasn't just art, it was business. Studios like Paramount and Warner Brothers turned films into assembly line products, exporting American culture worldwide. By the 1940s, movies were America's second biggest export after weapons. Hollywood's golden age created stars, made billions, and built an industry that still dominates global entertainment today.
Wall Street wasn't always skyscrapers and billion-dollar deals. In 1792, 24 traders gathered under a buttonwood tree in New York and signed an agreement to trade stocks. No middlemen allowed. That pact became the New York Stock Exchange, turning Wall Street into the financial heart of America. Today, trillions flow through Wall Street, but its roots are surprisingly simple.
Before Google and Apple, Silicon Valley was farmland. In the 1960s and 70s, chipmakers like Intel and Fairchild transformed these orchards into tech labs. By the 1980s, startups exploded in garages, birthing giants like Apple and HP. Today, Silicon Valley powers the world's tech economy, but it all began with microchips and a patch of California fruit farms. In the late 1800s, Andrew Carnegie turned steel into the backbone of America. His mills in Pittsburgh mass-produced steel for bridges, railroads, and the skyscrapers that made cities like New York and Chicago soar. By 1901, Carnegie sold his empire for $480 million, making U.S. Steel the first billion-dollar corporation in history. His work turned the U.S. into an industrial superpower.
In the late 1800s, Andrew Carnegie's steel empire built America's bridges, railroads, and skyscrapers, turning the U.S. into an industrial giant. Levittown, built after World War II, was America's first mass-produced suburb. It set the blueprint for suburban neighborhoods across the country. In 1827, the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad became America's first commercial railroad. It kicked off a railway revolution that would shape the nation.
Alabama takes its name from the Alibamu people, a Native American tribe. It's believed to mean thicket clearers or plant. Did you know the Clovis people, living 13,000 years ago, are considered the first families in America? Their stone tools were found coast to coast, proof of ancient ancestors. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know Nevada has petroglyphs carved over 10,000 years ago? These ancient rock art sites are older than the pyramids and tell the story of America's first people. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know Ohio's Serpent Mound is 300 feet long and shaped like a giant snake? Built over 1,000 years ago by native peoples, and its purpose is still a mystery. Subscribe the channel. Did you know Ohio's Serpent Mound is 300 feet long and shaped like a giant snake? Built over 1,000 years ago by native peoples, and its purpose is still a mystery. Subscribe the channel. Did you know ancient Pueblo people built homes inside cliffs at Mesa Verde, Colorado? These stone villages date back to the 1200s, and you can still visit them today. Subscribe the channel. Did you know the tech revolution started with tiny microchips in 1950s California? Companies like Intel built the first chips, turning farms into factories and birthing Silicon Valley. Subscribe the channel. Did you know Henry Ford's assembly line, launched in 1913, cut car building time from 12 hours to just 90 minutes? It made cars affordable and transformed global manufacturing forever. Subscribe the channel. Did you know John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil controlled 90% of U.S. oil in the 1880s? Oil-fueled lamps, industry, and later cars, making Rockefeller America's first billionaire. Subscribe the channel. Did you know Monopoly was invented during the Great Depression? It became America's best-selling board game, teaching people about buying property, even when they couldn't afford it in real life. Subscribe the channel.
Did you know early American football was so violent people called it mob football? In 1905, 18 players died, forcing President Roosevelt to demand safer rules. That saved the sport we know today. Subscribe the channel. Subscribe the channel. Native tribes like the Wampanoag started the tradition of clam bakes, steaming seafood over hot stones covered with seaweed. This ancient feast is still alive in New England today.
Subscribe the channel. After 9/11, the U.S. launched the War on Terror, invading Afghanistan and later Iraq. It became America's longest war, reshaping global politics for decades.
Subscribe the channel. The U.S. Civil War saw families divided. Brothers fought on opposite sides. Union versus Confederacy. Over 600,000 Americans died, making it the bloodiest war in U.S. history. Subscribe the channel. During the War of 1812, British troops invaded Washington, D.C. and set fire to the White House. President Madison fled, but the building was later rebuilt, stronger and grander. Subscribe the channel. San Miguel Mission in Santa Fe, New Mexico was built around 1610. It's the oldest church in the U.S., with adobe walls and beams that have stood for over 400 years. Subscribe the channel. The White Horse Tavern in Newport, Rhode Island opened in 1673. It served soldiers, sailors, and even pirates. 350 years later, you can still grab a meal in America's oldest restaurant. Subscribe the channel. In 1948, two brothers, the McDonald's, changed America by launching a speedy burger stand. Their system cut wait times, and by the 1950s, fast food chains exploded. Burgers and fries became icons of American culture. Every time you pump gas, part of that money funds America's roads and highways. That's how interstate maintenance gets paid.
Before railroads and highways, every town kept its own time. Standard time zones were invented so travelers could sync their journeys.
Ever noticed 3-digit interstates? If it starts with an even number, it loops around a city. If odd, it cuts through. That's the highway code. Ever noticed 3-digit interstates? If it starts with an even number, it loops around a city. If odd, it cuts through. That's the highway code. America has over 4 million miles of roads, the longest network in the world, enough to circle Earth more than 160 times. When Medicare launched in 1965, doctors protested, calling it socialized medicine. Today, it's one of America's most popular health programs.
In the early 1900s, ambulances were run by funeral homes. They already had vehicles to transport people quickly, alive or not.
The U.S. spends more on health care than any country, over $4 trillion a year. Yet, millions still struggle with costs and access. Unlike Europe, the U.S. never built a national health system. Why? Post-Waiwu business lobbies pushed for employer-based insurance, and it stuck.
In 1929, a teachers group in Texas couldn't afford hospital bills. So hospitals created prepaid plans, the start of Blue Cross and modern health insurance.
In the early 1900s, Sears sold entire homes through their catalog. You could order a house kit and build it yourself. Thousands still stand today. Montana comes from the Spanish word montaña, meaning mountain, a perfect fit for the rugged peaks that defined the state. Railway workers went on strike in 1877, protesting wage cuts. It became America's first major nationwide labor uprising. President Eisenhower launched the interstate system in 1956, building 41,000 miles of superhighways. It connected the entire U.S. like never before.
Highways like US 1 and US 20 stretch coast to coast. When you trace them on a map, you see the backbone that connects America's cities and towns.
By the 1950s, cars and planes stole the spotlight. America's love affair with rail faded, and many passenger lines shut down. Railway workers went on strike in 1870.